what I saw there, the hours that I got is 5 something, and I was just like surprised. I thought I
Eu
slept
queria
late.
ouvir também, né? Ou você prefere ouvir com fone de ouvido?
Opa.
I'm gonna mute you for now.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Do you have, okay, so you've been sleeping what, 6 hours a night?
Yeah, max. I actually in the app shows 5 something. It doesn't show 6 hours complete.
Okay, I would even suggesting downloading the app that I have that syncs with the Apple Watch. It's called Auto Sleep.
Okay.
That's how I've been monitoring my sleep, because it doesn't only monitors how long have you slept, but also if you had deep sleep, if you like how low your heart rate went, like the quality of sleep and stuff like that. So it's a really good app to have if you want to monitor your sleep. Like last night, I had a very poor sleep, woke up 3:33 a.m. and couldn't fall back asleep.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think my
Not
body used to wake up very early now, or just stay awake when I come, like when I come back really late, or when I finish working really late, I can't sleep. It's just like stay awake. I can't get to sleep. I just roll in the bed.
And then you just go through the day.
Yeah, yeah, sometimes, yeah. And then by 10 p.m., it was what happened yesterday. Just by I don't know, midnight, I just crashing, wake up at 10 a.m., which is bad. But it's kind of like I don't have much control on that right now.
Have you started using melatonin?
Not yet. I got that thing that you suggested, but I haven't yet.
Because you can start using melatonin, not like every single day, but especially when you have those shifts in time. So like if you want to go to bed at 10 every single day and you're still wide awake at 10 because you like the night before you just had a late night shift, you take melatonin like 3 milligrams, 5 milligrams, 1 hour before, or 1 hour before going to bed, the hour that you want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And that can help regulate that sleep pattern again.
Yeah, luckily it's gonna be only 4 days of shooting. It's the final of the season. We're doing like a show, Star Trek. Is the last push, and then after that, I don't think I will have to do that anytime soon. So just second week of September, third week, and that's it. But yeah, and now I'm finishing that thing. So until September, I'm good. So I can just like today go sleep normal hours. But I'm wide awake right now. It's already 7, so I don't know. And
do you have melatonin with you at home right now?
No, but I can go right now. I actually need to go do a COVID test, so I'll go after the call. Just by.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So if you take it and see how you feel. See if it helps you fall asleep earlier. It usually does. I don't recommend taking it like every day if you don't need it, because melatonin, our body produces it naturally. And by our habits, our body should be able to do that, right? But because you've been like in this mixed shifts, that might be a good idea. And you also work on your computer every day until even at night, right? So that's blue light. Yes, blue light is terrible for you.
The computer is like this size, is the monitor, and it's like the work is even worse because the studio is all dark. So my eyes, like I don't know, you can kind of see it's like, and I'm
get a blue light blocking glasses.
I'll talk about that. I was suggested someone use it. Yeah, I didn't know if that was really a thing. But
yeah, it helps. It can help. I have one. I have a pair. If I have to look at screens later at night, I'll always wear my blue light blockers, and they're cheap. You can find them on Amazon for 20.
Yeah, I'm checking here right now. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna follow through on that one because I don't like to use glasses inside, but I'll try. I'll see. Maybe I can return.
You like to sleep well, right?
Well, okay, yeah, that's a fair argument, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes we don't like the process, but we like the results, so we got to go through the process.
Okay.
But yeah, that might help. And another thing too, first thing in the morning after you had a late night shift. First thing in the morning, what do? Like you go outside, are you exposed to sunlight or no?
Take a shower, drink a lot of water, sit in the computer again, unfortunately.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to go outside and work out outside in the backyard while I can.
Even if you go like around the block in the morning, that initial morning sunlight, like when you open your eyes in the morning, like when you're first waking up, that sunlight helps produce melatonin at night. It actually helps producing serotonin, which is the hormone that helps us makes us feel good.
Mhm.
And then at night, that serotonin is converted to melatonin, which will help us fall asleep. So go outside, expose yourself to sunlight, even like 10 minutes, and then go back and do your thing.
All right,
That
I'll
can
do that
help
tomorrow.
regulate.
I'll even send you a picture of me outside walking with the count of the steps so you can see I actually did. I'll do that tomorrow morning for sure.
There you go. There you go. And yeah, if you guys want to geek out on sleep, there has been there's this guy called Matt Walker. He's a scientist and has been studying sleep for most of his career, and he just launched a book, Why We Sleep. And he's going to all the podcasts and doing all the interviews and blah blah blah. He went to Joe Rogan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
I was
Joe
about to say
Rogan.
that's the most terrifying interview ever. He's
Have
scared.
you heard that?
Yeah, like
Yep.
I'm convinced I'm gonna die early. Just continue like this. It was
Yeah,
terrible.
it's basically that. Like people who sleep last will die early. Like obviously, it's just a strong statement because he wants to, sell books and catch people's attention. And correlation doesn't mean causation, but still, right? It is interesting to learn more about it, and we sometimes just neglect sleep and the importance of sleep. We just want to keep pushing through and hope that things will fall back to normal, but we need to do our part to help regulate sleep cycles. And I've been doing pretty much everything, and slowly things are getting back on track. But if you ignore those signals, those signs that your body tells you, like if you ignore insomnia nights, if you ignore like night sweats, like little things like that you don't even think that it's a symptom of anything, over time it will compound, and there will come a point where your body will really scream at you, and you need to go to the doctor, and it will be something more serious. So it's always good, and especially you guys training and trying to stay in a calorie deficit, you are adding on a lot of stressors on your bodies. It is amazing to eat well. It is amazing to lose weight. It is amazing to train. But over time, if you don't recover well, if you're not sleeping well, you're not going to get the results that you want. Your body will resist to it. So, and this is not for you personally, Tiago, but for everyone here, like for everybody, sleep should be the primary focus of self-care, especially in the beginning. Like, and you can let me know, like on the check-ins, hey, I have not been meeting my steps because I haven't been sleeping, and I'm sleeping in because I want to prioritize that. I'm all for it, right? One thing at a time. So I guess for sleep, that's that. And obviously, if you have like,
Sorry.
yeah,
Hey, Andrea. You may guys have touched on it before. I got connect a little bit late. But like, can you summarize what's a good sleep? Because you are all speaking about like having insomnia or not actually falling asleep. Well, how about the opposite way around? Like when you lay in bed, you fell asleep and you don't want to wake up. You just feel like kind of low energy after 9 hours of sleep.
9 hours.
Yeah, 8, 9, I don't know. Because it sometimes happen with me. Another point I got from the talk earlier was, hi Papa, just a second, was actually get the sunlight. It was something I was missing during my home office, which may actually play a role in it because,
Yeah.
well, it's just like stay inside a home, so you don't see anyone, you don't see the sunlight. So, well, the bed would be more comfortable than actually wake up and do your chores.
Mhm.
So, just summarize my question is, what's like the fact that you can take and say, okay, I'm having a good sleep and my body had the opportunity to recover well?
Mhm. It will depend, it will be on an individual basis because it's very subjective. Yes, there's a minimum of 7 hours, 7.5 hours. You have to go through all the cycles of sleep. So go through REM sleep, which means that you're dreaming. You have to also go through deep sleep sessions. But the best marker is how you feel when you wake up, right? How, like, do you feel energized? Or do you wake up sluggish? It takes you forever to wake up. You want to, like, you feel like your body is just glued to your bed. Like you need tons of coffee to wake up, and you're tired. You feel aches and pains and things like that. You're not rested when you wake up. That's the best marker for you to keep an eye on. Yes, you can use the apps to track how much deep sleep you're getting, how's your heart rate when you sleep, what's the quality of sleep. You can track all those things if you're into metrics and being very meticulous about it. And it's actually a good thing to do just for the sake of having that information. But you could have all the markers in green. You could have like all the 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep, all deep sleep, REM sleep. But if you wake up feeling like shit or feeling super tired, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. And there are so many things that could be going on. It depends on your, so there are certain hormone imbalances that can lead to those symptoms. Especially with cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone, and it's the hormone that wakes us up in the morning. So it's a good thing to have a more elevated cortisol in the morning. It could be that cortisol is low, and for that reason, you're not waking up fully rested. You're not feeling like yourself in the morning. It could be that. It could be low thyroid. It could be a lot of things. But obviously, you would need to investigate through lab work, and you would have to see if you have any other symptoms that would match with having that diagnosed. But the habits are first, right? So habits come first always, and sleep hygiene has to be on point before we say anything else. So what do you do before bed? What do you drink? What do you smoke? What time do you finish eating? What time is your last meal? Is your room dark, cool? Do you have any other interruptions throughout the night? Do you look at your cell phone until you fall asleep? Or do you have like a bedtime routine where you leave your cell phone maybe far away from your bed, or you don't have the habit of looking through your phone, looking at screens and things like that? So those are the first initial things that we would need to address before we start hypothesizing about other disruptions, right? Hormones and stuff like that.
It does make sense. I see a lot of room of improvement, like a very good sleep routine, for example. I don't have it really clean. Like sometimes I go to sleep a little bit earlier, sometimes like late in the night. I can compensate it sleeping more during the morning, but I know that's not the best way of improving my sleep.
Yeah.
Also, cell phone is not something I use a lot,
Mhm.
but yeah, I do sometimes actually go to the bad cycle of scroll the Instagram, explore, and then, well, when you see it's like 1 hour over.
Yeah. So that's,
And the food, I think also I have something to improve, as like normally I go to bed just after I have my dinner, which is supposed to have a little bit earlier. And I like
like
eat
right
like
away, you have dinner.
yeah, I have dinner, and while I'm having dinner, I'm watching some like series or movies. As soon as we finish, brush your teeth, and then go to sleep.
Okay.
I normally fell really easy, like I fell asleep really quick.
Mhm.
But yeah, I could improve it as well.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it doesn't hurt to do a blood work and see what your cortisol levels are, what your thyroid levels are, and see if you have any other symptoms, like if you're always tired, if you're losing hair, if you're always cold, like little things like that. But I think the first thing is to look at the habits. And to be honest, we're just starting out. I know it's been a few weeks, but still, right? We're starting out, changing your habits, changing your eating habits, changing your overall lifestyle habits, right? So I think with those adjustments, you might start to notice some improvements. And just the fact that now you know, that awareness will help you too, right?
Right. Actually, I read feeling a bit of improvement on that regard after having
That's
losing some weight and improving the exercise partly, like kind of doing it every week without stopping.
yes.
But still, yeah, it's actually something was more like normal before I started the program. Actually, now it's being improving slowly but steady.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, like once you start improving your nutrition, improving your training, getting more sunlight, how do you take vitamin D?
I just started to take like a multivitamin supplement, which
Mm,
have vitamin D as well.
we
I
didn't,
think the minimum.
but I think the dosage might not be enough, especially
I
here in
I can
Canada.
supplement it. I still having some vitamin D specific ones, caps from the winter. I can take it together actually.
Yeah, I will. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a file, a document with the links for the ones that I would recommend. Just a second, because sometimes that can influence as well. But once you start changing those things and once you start refining your habits, because in reality, we start with the big rocks, right? We start with the macros, we start with the movement, we start with um, the water intake, getting those things in, and then we're slowly refining things. So sleep hygiene might be a good idea to start implementing. Just like grab a book that you like to read, or that you've been wanting to read, but you just say, oh, I just don't have time to read. And instead of scrolling through your phone, just, set a cutoff time, a curfew time for your phone. And okay, after 9:30 or after 9 or after whatever, I'm not going to look on my phone. No matter what happens, it's on, like, turn off the notifications, like just leave it there and go to bed, read a book, drink some tea. Some of those things might help until you feel that you're falling asleep, and then you fall asleep a little bit better. Well, you already do fall asleep pretty quickly, but the quality might not be there because of the habit of looking at screens and just eating too close to bed. Ideally, you don't want to go to bed feeling hungry. It's not a good idea. But you don't want to go too full that your body is trying to digest food while you're sleeping. So it might be a good idea to space out a little bit and eat your last meal 2 hours or 3 hours even before going to bed. And just, if anything, just think about Eva, right? She's just a toddler right now, right?
Oh yeah, she is.
She's a
She's like
toddler,
about 2 years.
and if you don't have her bedtime routine in place, if you don't have her morning routine in place, it's probably she's going to be cranky the next day, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
normally fuzzy and well, actually she called for her bed routine. If it passed like half an hour, 1 hour after, she's like 9999 and go to sleep. It's
They
my
know
time.
better than us.
Yeah, I think actually my problem is basically get the routine and go out of home. I think that morning walk you have mentioned on Instagram will help me a lot because when you go out of home and you see the sun or the rain or whatever weather is outside, it's outside. You see movement, you see life, and then it actually help a lot.
It does, and it does help reducing anxiety, reducing stress. Like you just start your day off on, in a better mood, on a better tone. And then once you're done with that, then you can deal with all the stress that you have to deal with throughout the day. But it really, really helps. And you get your steps in, you get some movement, you get sunlight, like you check all the boxes.
That's true. Just pros, no cons.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Anything else that you're struggling with or that you're curious about that we can help you?
I'm okay. I don't know about the others.
Good, good. Jessica and Felipe. Guys, I know we're all Brazilians here, but because I'm recording and everybody else is going to listen, we'll have to keep speaking in English.
All right.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Yeah, all good here. I just finished my workout. Yeah, it's all good.
Good, good, awesome. Jessica, you're always super consistent. Jessica and Luis Felipe are examples of discipline and consistency.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh gosh, I'm pretty much dying here. Thank you guys. Sorry.
Why? What did we do?
Oh my. I'm trying to actually get this thing. I do until the failure. And and
Good, you're
I'm
gonna see
trying not
some
actually.
personal records.
Oh my. Yeah, pretty much. I compete with myself, so yeah, I'm trying to. So this week actually is going well.
Mhm.
I got pretty much lucky. The dog that I'm fostering, she's amazing. I could sleep, even actually day one,
Okay.
and not actually so much work home. So she got the routine. I can do my workouts without actually any dog jumping on the weight, which is amazing too. So
Good.
yeah, everything fine. And about this sleep thing, guys, it's weird because 2 weeks ago we were actually expecting that my weight was going to stay, yeah, or actually get stabilized.
Yeah.
But last week I had a little bit less stress and I could actually sleep basically 7 hours, 7 and 30 minutes every day.
Mhm.
And even actually with the same macros I lost and I still losing,
Mhm.
which is weird. But it's still pretty much actually the sleep is part of the day, even actually like the workouts and the steps.
Mhm.
What I think for sure the last 2 months I'm doing is actually taking a tea before bed, and I'm pretty much actually feeling that we should actually listen to our grandmas before, because guys, Andre is actually pretty much making me do or giving me actually the advice that actually my grandma gave me 20 years ago, 30, taking a tea before bed, sleep earlier,
Yeah.
don't drink alcohol, don't smoke.
It's the basic. You know what?
Yeah, it's the
It's
basic.
funny.
Yeah, it's pretty much the basic. Yeah.
I learned I heard a phrase that made all the sense in the world. I'm actually gonna read it because I had to write it down. It was so good. It made so much sense. Where is it? Being advanced doesn't mean you skip the basics. Being advanced means you never skip the basics. right? And sleep, bedtime routine, reducing alcohol, having a certain structure around what you eat, training, lift weights, getting your steps in, sunlight. Those are the basic things. No matter how advanced you get, like those things still matter. They have to still be there. So being advanced doesn't mean you skip the basics. Being advanced means you never skip the basics. And that stuck with me so much because that's so true. Even what we were talking about in the beginning of the call, the example I gave of brushing your teeth, right? No matter how hard life gets, no matter what you go through, you don't forget to brush your teeth. I hope, because that's a habit, right? That's something that you've been doing for the whole life. You don't have to think about it. And the more you can make certain things that are positive for you a habit, the less you have to think about it, right? Like with the protein stuff, with hitting protein, and like right now, I'm no longer prepping for the competition, and up until May, I wasn't, but I maintained my physique at a good point because I still maintained the basic stuff, the basic, boring, unsexy stuff. The foundation was still there. So once you learn that, you mastered everything. So before, worrying about complicated things or complicated diets, complicated workouts, complicated plans, we actually need to be really, really good at the basics, master and make them a habit. And then you can advance and think about other things. But those foundational things, they're always going to be there, right? Like you guys will notice, like you're all, except for Saulo maybe, but most of you, Louise and Jessica, and most of my clients are sort of new to strength training with structure, like with proper workouts, progressive overloading. You'll notice that the exercises, they don't change a whole lot. Like you're never not going to squat unless like you have some sort of injury, but you're going to find some alternative that replicates the same movement pattern. You're never not going to do some sort of deadlift. You progress through the exercise progression, but there's not going to be a point in time that, oh, I'm too advanced to deadlift, I'm too advanced to squat, I'm too advanced for this exercise. No. There's always room for improvement. And as boring as it sounds, this is what it gets. And the more you focus on doing the basics better and better and better, the better results you get. Right? If you look at my squats, now I'm just changing the subject completely here, but
Someone might say that the squats and all those exercises is the advanced part when you do it well.
yeah,
Because those you don't
any
actually have
exercise.
any limit on the kind of stimulus you do to your muscle. So you can have literally any weight. For example, the leg press, I'm reaching a point that I cannot actually add weight anymore. So I need to increase the reps because, well, I have all the plates there and there's no space anymore. Like in the bar or doing like squats, like I don't have that limit virtually because, well, it's a lot heavier than doing it in the machine.
Yeah, for sure. And as you get stronger, you make progress in a different way. And this is actually a good topic too, because making progress in strength training, there are so many ways that you can make progress, that you can improve on a certain exercise. And there's no exercise that is mandatory or that you should for sure do. There are movement patterns, and those movement patterns offers different options of exercises that you can incorporate to your routine, depending on the level that you are, depending on your body, depending on your recovery, depending on the phase of the training program that you're in. depending on a whole bunch of stuff, but the movement pattern is going to be pretty much the same. You just pick and choose exercises that will align with your current abilities, current biomechanics, and current goals as well. And also there's regression and progression. So as I was telling Saulo on his check-in, the pull-up bar, and Luis Felipe is really good because he made so much progress on that exercise. Nobody is going to hit 10 pull-ups without having been previously trained. Like nobody can do it. Like nobody, because people usually say, oh, I don't have the strength to do a pull-up in the pull-up bar. Yes, because you've never trained for it. So we're going to train for it. You're going to try the first time. You're going to do one pull-up. It sucks. Yeah, that's the reality. But okay, record that. Week 1, repetition 1, set 2. Okay, how many can I do? Set 3. And then you make progress over time. Pull up progressions and regressions. And now I'm going totally off topic here. But there are exercises that can help you get stronger on your pull-ups. And there are progressions that you can make, accessories that you can use, and things that you can do to also help you with your pull-up. But you're never going to get good at pull-ups if you don't train pull-ups. And you're never going to be good at them right at the beginning. You get stronger over time. Over time, you accumulate week after week. It sucks when you see like, okay, 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps and you can only do 1 or 2. But that's the reality of it right now. That's your starting point, and that's where you're aiming at. Just keep that repetition number as like, okay, that's my goal, but it's not where I am right now. But it doesn't mean that my body isn't adapting. That just because I'm not doing the 6 to 8 reps yet, I'm not getting results. You are. Your body is adapting and getting stronger over time and getting better over time, just depending on the level that you are. Does that make sense?
For me, a lot, yeah, because I think we
Yeah.
started with the chin up in May, yeah, May.
I think so.
And yeah, and I started actually with the I forgot the name in English. Elastic, I forgot.
Resistance band.
Resistant band, yeah. Oh, thank you. What so complicated name for just one thing. Okay, and but it sucks to actually increase one rep, yeah. I think I'm stuck in 10, 11 for 3-4 weeks. I know that for some time I was pretty much low carb, but it's nice to see that, for example, now I don't get actually so stressed before 8, for example. But it's still, yeah, it's a really slow improvement.
Slow
You do,
progress.
yeah,
And
pretty much.
if you stop doing it, you also lose strength. Like
Are you
I
showing off? Really? Sorry,
No,
sorry,
it's
Andrea.
no, but it's weird because I told her I wanna do at least 30 at the end of this year, and I was not actually pretty much not believing, because even with the resistant band in the beginning, it was, gosh, I was killing myself. You know, I'm not gonna make it. But afterwards, maybe, you know, the body just make it. Who knows?
because you recover well, because you eat well, enough to recover, right? And to make the adaptation processes, and that allows you to become stronger. Getting stronger is an adaptation from a stimulus. So because you do that stimulus, you apply that stimulus every single week, your body adapts by getting a little bit stronger every week, a little bit stronger every week. And yeah, the more you train, the more and recover, right? You can only train to the level of what your body can recover from, right? If on week 4 of your current training program, you're still feeling beat up and super freaking sore after every single workout, there's something wrong with your recovery, because you should not, like, feeling beat up and feeling super sore all the time is not an indication of good progress. And so you guys should not be looking for that. Like, it's okay on week 4 of your training program to not feel sore. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It actually means that it's working, because if you have been pushing through for the past 3 weeks and your body is adapting and it's recovering well, it shouldn't feel sore after every single workout on week 4. But with the pull-ups, and it's interesting, Luis, because we did the same progressions, not only with pull-ups, but also with push-ups, right?
Yeah, but one thing that I am pretty much stubborn. Yeah. So when you told me, oh, you can do after if you want, yeah. So not now because no time, but in the beginning when I changed my work, I had more time, and okay, actually one day or another I was just there actually trying for the push-ups every day in the morning. And it's like you said, I'm not sure if it's pretty much if you get stronger, for sure it's a part of it, but it seems that actually your body adapt and you just can make a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. I know that you're getting a point that get better or more reps is pretty much harder, and you do need to actually have a little bit more patience.
And that's where
But
the progressions will come into place. So we have the regressions and progressions. So I don't mean to cut you off there, but like when it comes to a point that a body weight exercise or any exercise for that matter starts to feel that you're adding reps, and like you're at 30, 40, 50 and you're okay, then you can start incorporating advanced alternatives. So for the push-up, you can, how many push-ups you can do now?
I think the normal one, I think 30 something. The first rep, yeah, guys, not the first thing.
The
The
first set.
second set, yeah, the first set is good. The second one is pretty much half, like 15. But the first one I can try until the failure, I think 30 something.
You can try the decline push-up, and then you let me know how many you can do.
Well, sounds good. The other one that you gave me was with the base a little bit shorter.
Yes.
Gosh, this one is killing me. It's still killing me, but you know, every single week getting 1 or 2 reps more. But this one was tough. The first week was okay. I made actually 5, 6, and I was dying.
Oh my gosh. No, that one is hard too, especially for your triceps. But let me just hold on. Yeah,
I
let
have
me
a
just share my
question on the following up of
Yeah.
the feeling sore after exercise.
Mhm.
I know you're not supposed to feel like super sore as in the beginning when you just start, but I
It's
have
the
I don't know if
opposite.
it's a misconception.
Sorry, it's the opposite. In the beginning, you should feel a little more sore
Yeah,
than,
that's why I tried to say
okay.
like in the beginning, like it's normal. You have like you are super sore because you're just starting to actually have your body doing like some workout.
Yeah.
But like as you go, I have that. I don't know. It may be a misconception that if you wanna like build muscles, you need to feel sore. After train leg day, for example,
Mhm.
I will feel that train for like more 2 days probably, and
Mhm.
that's the way I train. So doesn't matter which week I am. I try to do the workout in a manner that I have enough weight in which I will feel that muscle recovering over time. And you said that like we're not supposed to feel super sore.
Mhm.
So the super here play a big role, right? Because like the way I train is like I want to be feeling sore in the next 2 days. So I know that okay, I did train that group.
I know what you mean, because you want to have the sensation that you had a good workout by feeling sore, right?
Right. I normally use that
Mm,
sign as okay, I did well. But like you mentioned that I'm not supposed to. I
correct.
was supposed to not feel sore, so I was kind of confused if it's like the super sore
Yeah.
level.
To not, and specifically to not chase soreness as a measure of how good the workout felt. Specifically that, because there's a threshold to how much you can push your body to, like how hard you can push your body to. If you're training, and I'm assuming you're probably trying to push to failure to all sets in all exercises, that's why you're feeling sore.
Right. That's
That will, yeah, so you're not using the RIR and the RPE. I'm going to touch on that. But you're going to build up fatigue on your central nervous system over time, because it's not only the muscles that will accumulate fatigue. It's also the central nervous system, because you're bringing all your muscles to failure all the freaking time. There will be a point in time that your body is going to start to give you signals that it's too much, that you're going to start feeling under recovered. You're going to start feeling a little aches and pains and things that show up, like little things, because you're just pushing too hard all the time. So what I would recommend is actually on the 4th week of each training, each training phase, to just take a deloading week, to pull back a little, meaning that you're not going to go as hard, like balls to the walls. I know it feels counterproductive, but it actually allows your body to recover better over time and make better adaptations as well. And use the scale that I suggest you to use. So when I say like leave 2 repetitions in the tank, like 2 RIR, that's not going to failure, right? You're still leaving 2 repetitions in the tank, meaning that I need to do a video with weights on this to visualize, like for you guys to visualize how it is. But like, especially on the first exercises of the workout, because usually if you notice a pattern, the first exercises are going to be the compound exercises, right? The squats, the leg presses, the shoulder presses, and things like that, because they work more than one joint. They're harder on the body. Those exercises, if you notice, I ask you to leave 2 repetitions in the tank, right? So I don't want you going to failure on the leg press. I don't want you going to failure on the squat. I want you to finish that set, or at least the last set, feeling like if you pushed a little harder, you could have squeezed 2 more reps, right? And then
I do follow that. I do follow that direction.
Okay. Oh, good then.
But when it's 0, it's 0. Like I'm gonna stop like halfway through.
The ones. Oh, she's so cute. She sounds cute. And then at the end of the workout, you notice that you have single joint exercises, right? Like bicep curls and leg extensions and things like that. And on those exercises, because it's not as taxing to the body, like it doesn't require a whole lot of from your nervous system to adapt and to keep you doing the movement, because it's just one joint, like biceps and leg curls and things like that. Those you can take to failure. You can take to 0 RRR if it's on your program, or 1 left in the tank, something like that. Those are okay, right? But not on the compound movements. Does that make sense?
It does.
The thing that I have that I'm pretty much afraid is have any pain and actually need to carry this for days. Yeah, because if you get injured, for example, remember when actually I felt the pain like Monday? Oh man. And it is interesting because you actually feel guilty. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to do the workout for the rest of the week. But I could make it, actually not the way that was actually pretty much comfortable.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, sometimes I don't push until the failure some exercises, and even actually for the weight standpoint, maybe I could put a little bit more, but just actually for keeping the movement correctly, you know, I keep as it is. And I push close to the failure, but not actually, just some of them, and not actually that you can pretty much almost dying to actually push through. So
Yeah.
okay, it's good to know that actually I'm not being so lazy.
No, definitely not. This is something that it's hard to explain and to actually give advice on for most people, because some people, most people, or even most women, I would say, or beginners, oh, she's so cute. It's hard to identify what is actually hard, right? What is it that I'm looking for here? Hi, Eva. So this is a concept that is a little hard to touch on for majority of the people, but I like to touch on, especially, you know, for you guys that are really lifting a little bit heavier, that have been lifting a little bit heavier for a while, and are already understanding those concepts. Because it does play a role. For a complete beginner, if you're just starting out, it'll be hard for you to know exactly what failure is, what failure feels, right? For a complete beginner, it's hard because sometimes they will see like 3 sets of 15 reps, and they will finish the set at 15 reps regardless of how they feel, right? They're not in tune with their bodies, which is okay because that comes with time, right? The more you repeat, the more you lift, the more in tune you get with your body and how it feels and how it should feel. So that's the thing too. And sometimes we think that we're failing. We think that the muscle is going to failure, but it's actually our minds. So that's a tricky thing. That's very subjective too, right? That's why I like to use the scale of RPE and RIR to at least give us some idea of where you're at, right? In terms of level of effort. But for a complete beginner, I understand that it's a concept that it's a little hard to get because you don't know exactly what you're looking for. You don't know what your effort should be, right? Yeah. So what I was going to do
That's a
here.
nice thing I want to point out on that. I was talking with friends about like training and that kind of thing, and one of the nice things I saw from the workout plan you gave me was the concept of intensity, which I didn't have before. So when I got a coach and then he paid, like he put the program was like normally weight and repetitions. But like who knows the intensity of that is me. Like I know how much I need to go until I got like to like the last one to the failure.
Yeah, it helps
So
with
depending
weight
on
selection.
So yeah, that's the point. Like I know exactly the intensity that exercise should be depending on like how many repetitions in the tank I should actually have in the very end of that set.
Yeah.
That's a really nice concept. I love it.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's great. I like that. Love that. And actually, oh my gosh, what did I do? Hold on. Do you guys have 300 tabs open in Windows at the same time?
Sure thing, in 3 screens.
I need one more screen. One more screen for me. Hold on. There. This is the screen that I want to share. There. So this is that guide for lifting weights. I want to touch on this real quick because we're already over 8 o'clock. So this guide will help you with some of the terms, right? So there are some terms that you're going to get, you're going to hear more as you make progress throughout your journey. So it's good to have that understanding. So when you see a drop set on your plan, you don't freak out. Oh, what's a drop set? What's a superset? What's time under tension, right? Or things like that, or isometric or negative and things like that. And then some of the guidelines like form is king, and that's and this is the first thing that we touched on. We just touched on this. Establishing baseline weights takes time, and that's so true. So if you're on your first week of training, it will, like, you won't feel the training session as you should feel, because you're still figuring out the weight, you're still figuring out the movement, you're still figuring out where things are at the gym, like things like that. So it's normal for on the first week of each training phase for you to kind of take a little bit of a while to figure out where you're at, and that's normal. One trick that I like to do, I don't know if you guys implement this, but is to look over my training program the day before or right after my session or on the morning of, whatever, to just prepare myself mentally for what's ahead. So I'll go have a look on what I have for that day. Like if I have a leg day, I'll prepare myself a little bit more. But I'll look over, I'll see the exercises. Okay, so this, and this, and I'll like literally kind of in my mind walk me through the gym. Okay, so this I do there, and this I'll do there, and like I kind of paint the picture of how that session is going to unfold and do the movements in my mind before I actually do them in person at the gym. Like I find that this is really helpful for me, and some of my clients have started to implement this, and they like it a lot. It helps a lot for you to just look on your, like, don't get at the gym and, oh, I don't know what I'm training today, let me just have a look. Like, and you're at the gym, you have to know, you have to go knowing exactly what you're going to do, what exercises you're going to do, what weights, like have a pre-plan in your mind of what's going to happen, and that helps you getting that right state as well. And then form is king. Like I always say, if you guys and when you guys want my feedback on your form, send me the videos, record yourself, send me the videos. I know it's hard to film yourself at the gym, but guys, I've been doing this since 2017, like very amateur style. I just put my phone against like my water bottle and like use the face from camera and record it. So just record a movement, send them to me, and you'll get feedback. Because sometimes when we watch ourselves doing the exercise, like I record myself up until this day, not because I have to share them on Instagram. I don't share all my exercises, all my training sessions on Instagram, but because I want to keep them and see and compare to the week before, and compare maybe to 3 years before, and see where, like, where's the progression, where needs adjustment to. Like to this day, I film myself and I look, okay, I could have done that better, I could have used a different angle, blah blah blah. Like that helps so much, you have no idea. Like you don't have to send me all your videos, only the ones that you want feedback. But if you get into that habit of looking and seeing what you're doing, it will for sure help you identify movement patterns and critique your own form. So that comes in first. So before adding load, before like measuring your effort, make sure that you're doing the exercise properly, because if the technique is off, you're just losing gains, like you're just wasting time. Safety bars, okay, that does not need to be mentioned today. Performing reps is not a race. So that's the example that I use of 15 reps without even feeling it, just like going through the motions and moving your body. Like really take the time to feel the muscles working, right? And if you have, like, if you're not sure which muscles certain exercise work, just Google, like, you have the exercise, open Google, exercise XYZ, muscles worked, and you have a good visual. So at least you know what you should be feeling. And thinking about the muscle while you're lifting also helps as well. This is called mind muscle connection. So you think about that the movement, you think about the muscle, and you engage that muscle. It's weird thinking, I know, but it works. And over time you get better as well. Like, it's all over time, guys. Now, should you use gloves? If you like it, yeah, but resistance bands, okay. I actually, progressive overload. So this is where I wanted to get to, progressive overload, which means making more, or the ability to do more over time. And that's what I was just talking about. It's not just increasing the weight, increasing the load, but it's also increasing volume over time. So week 1, 3 sets of 10, or on week 2, 3 sets of 12, or 4 sets of 10 will give you in total the same amount of work done, right? So that's why sometimes you guys see that week, from program to program, the sets are increased, or the reps are increased, and when I decrease the reps, it means that you should increase the load, right? It's inversely proportional. Then increasing time under tension, which means doing the same, you can do the same exercise using the same form, the same volume, the same reps, the same number of sets, just slowly, just reducing the time under tension, like actually increasing the time under tension. And you'll also be progressive. It means progressive overload as well. Decreasing rest between sets. And that's something that the rest between sets, yes, you can reduce them, and that means that you're doing more over time, because if you're doing the same load, the same technique, the same exercise, the same sets and reps, but with less rest, you're doing more, right? But still follow. So that's why you'll see that sometimes I will reduce or increase time between sets. I'll play around with that, but just make sure that you follow the rest between sets. That is super important to rest enough. And you'll also notice the relationship between the type of exercise and the amount of rest required. So the first exercises, the compound movements, are usually allow for a little bit more rest, because your body will need more rest to do a proper set on the next set. The last ones, the single joint ones, you recover pretty quickly, so you don't need that much time. Now reps in reserve, and the concept of,
I have a question regarding to the rest time. I think we talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So can I consider the rest the minimum of rest necessary, or
No,
should they take exactly the same, and how important it's take exactly the same? Because sometimes I end up passing like 10 seconds because I go to the bar after I got the timeout. And depending on the load, I think like, I don't know, 10 seconds to get me into it.
I think that range, 10 seconds, no problem. I wouldn't worry about it. I would just make sure that you're not too far off. Like, let's say you're doing bicep curls and your recommended rest is 60 seconds, and you're actually resting 3 minutes between bicep curls. That would be too much, right? That would not be productive. But like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, even 15 seconds, sometimes the most important thing is for you to feel that you can hit the next set as intensely as you hit the first one, the previous one, right? And that's again, and that's something that we're chatting now, and you guys are a little bit more in tune with your bodies already, so you know that. But for beginners, it is, or for people who aren't familiar with strength training, that's a little bit harder to do and to identify, right? Because they're always chasing, feeling the heart rate up, right? Feeling tired and doing like burpees in between sets. No, you should rest so you can feel ready to hit the next set. But to answer your question completely, Saulo, no, yes, it's okay to have like that 10-second buffer unless I specify, but it shouldn't interfere too much. But like if you're allowing
Yeah,
for
that's
way
perfect.
more,
Yeah, I got the point. Like, do not take the phone and we'll chat on like WhatsApp, because then you're gonna take more time. 2-3 minutes is not like you
yeah,
even lose the intensity of like the series, like because it's about like you start a new set basically.
yes, exactly. There are some research on this, on rest and between sets and stuff like that, and depending on the exercise and depending on what are you training for, but specifically for hypertrophy, on compound movements, hypertrophy and powerlifting, right? So strength training, because training to build muscle is different than training to build strength. But there are some studies showing that it's actually more productive to have more rest. So like if you do a really hard set of, I don't know, leg press or lunges or squats or bench press or pull-ups, it's more productive if you rest between 2 and 3 minutes than if you have a shorter rest of 30 to 60 seconds for those types of exercises, right? For compound movements. But yes, if you lose track completely of time, if you're distracted and that's not going to be productive for your gains. And on the other hand too, like if you're just not resting at all, it's not going to be productive as well. Like you're not going to get more results if you rest less than suggested, right? And then the reps in reserve, measuring your intensity. That's basically what it is, right? A measure of intensity, a way to guide you on what kind of weight you should be using, what kind of load you should be using for that exercise, and how you should feel at the end. And again, it comes with time. You're getting tuned with your body with time on what exactly means an RPE 10 or an RPE 9, right? Because sometimes, again, our mind plays a lot of tricks on us and our mind will give up before our body does, right? So this maximal effort or this level of intensity should be measured, or you should feel on the muscle that you're working, like on your body, not on your mind, right? Like if you finish the exercise, because you had to, because that was the number of repetitions, but you really finish it and you ask yourself, how much more could I have done if I really wanted to, if I really had to? If it's more than 3 reps, then you're being like you're lifting too light, right? Unless I specify. So for some of you, I have specified the warm-up sets right at the end with an RPE 5, meaning that you're going to leave lots in the tank because that's warm-up sets. I want you to warm up on that exercise before you do it. And you should not skip that warm-up. But yeah, it's just a measure of effort. So, and I've seen this a lot where some of you will finish the training session, finish the workout, and just rate at the end, like, because the app asks for that, and you just rate a 5 RPE. Like that should not happen, again, unless I specify that for that training session, you should aim for an RPE 5. But how hard the workout is, it's on you. not necessarily on the exercises or the structure, the number of sets and reps. It's on you because you are choosing the load and you know how to increase the intensity. You know that you can add more reps. You know that you can add more load if you want to. You know that you can improve your form. And if you're applying those things, your RPE are not going to be 5 at the end of a workout session, right? It should be at least an 8. So that you should be aiming at that every single workout. Again, unless I specify for you to, okay, this week is going to be a deloading week. I want you to aim for RPE 5 in all exercises because we are recovering. Then that's okay. But if you're rating the exercise at the end, RPE 5 or RPE 6, you're just not putting enough effort to induce proper adaptation. And by adaptation, we mean muscle recovery. Make sense? And I guess that.
I was saying here and I was muted, sorry.
Okay, so I guess that's it for tonight, guys. Oh my gosh, it's 8:24 already. But this is all in the guide to lift weights in our beautiful Google folder. I explain more about HIIT versus least cardio. And there are some tips on recovery as well. Some things that can help you with, like drink plenty of water. Yes, that helps with recovery, sleeping, foam rolling, stretching. In this folder, there's also a stretching guide. So if you go there, you're gonna find, I have to go back here. But just to finish this, there are more tips here on how to recover properly. Even like some supplements like ashwagandha, and avoid too much caffeine after 2 p.m., things like that, things that can help you with proper muscle recovery. But you also have the stretching guide here to help you with proper dynamic stretches. And I would recommend just going through some of these stretches like once or twice a week. I know not everyone will do them. You don't need to do them right before each workout. Stretching, warming up properly doesn't mean spending like 15 minutes stretching, right? Warming up, the proper warm up should be done on the exercise. But these are just good movement flows to incorporate on your routine 2-3 times a week, whenever you feel that something is a little bit stiff, especially for you guys who are deadlifting or squatting. Those things can really help to kind of recover better. Okay, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Thank you guys for showing up. I love the session today. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for the information. Yeah, I learned a lot.
Awesome. I'm really happy. Do you guys have any questions?
Nope.
All good?
Eva
Awesome.
might have one. I don't know.
Yeah. If you have
Sorry.
any questions, just post on the group. Just let me know. And let's go have our night routine to sleep well.
See ya, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.